Hey guys, welcome to my garage. Today we are going to have some fun. We're going to adjust the parking brake on this beautiful MX-5 Miata behind me. It's basic maintenance, but I feel like a lot of people get intimidated by this job and they shouldn't be. So I'm going to show you that it's possible to do it at your home garage. We're just going to go over jacking the car up, getting behind the wheel, getting under the car, and adjusting the parking brake. Should be a lot of fun, and stay tuned on this channel. We're gonna do a lot more fun things to this car, so let's see what happens. Alright, so this is the minimum tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need 2 jack stands. You're gonna need the jack, hydraulic jack. This works best. You're gonna need a 4mm Allen head, 14mm wrench, and an option is a hammer. I use a hammer just to get a little extra torque on the bolts before I close them up. And the other minimum is you're going to need a car, MX-5. Alright, so first off, before starting anything, you need to jack the car up. So for this adjustment, we're just going to jack the rear, and those points where you jack it up are on the frame rails or behind the back diff here in the back, and you can raise both sides at the same time. Unfortunately for me, I kind of have a mat I'm working with here, so I can't jack it up from the back, or I don't want to because I'm going to ruin my floor mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it from the sides on the frame rails and put some jack stands, and we'll be secure. You also want to use a wheel chock for the front and make sure that car doesn't roll forward. Alright guys, so we're going to jack it up here. Just kind of line it up. Start pumping. Alright, so I'm gonna just do it here so you can see it in relation to the wheel. That's where I'm going to jack it up on this rail here. You can see these 2 indents, those cutouts in between. That's for the jack stand, supposedly. You can hear the wheels starting to lift off the ground there. Like I said, I got the wheel chock in the front, so I can make sure that it doesn't roll on me. Now you can see the wheel is actually off the ground. Okay, so now what you want to do is, now that the jack is up, you never want to be under the car with just the jack. So we're getting a jack stand, putting it in between, somewhere in between there, and we're going to lower the car. And to do that, just twist the pole left. It should lower. There you go. See if there's any damage. Little nick there, but nothing major. We'll do that to the other side and we'll have the car jacked up. Alright, success. We have the rear wheels off the floor. The car is jacked up in the rear. And what we need to do now is release the rear parking brake. That will allow us to spin the wheels freely and we'll know how much we need to adjust from behind the wheel. Alright, so on the jack stands, I only put it up to the first notch and you can see how much room clearance you've got already. The car gets pretty high from the rear when it's jacked up, so there's a lot of clearance. It's not like the front, so you don't need to jack it up any higher than you should, I guess. And go underneath the car and see what we'll see the adjusting screw behind the wheel. Alright, so all you gotta do is reach in, let the parking brake go, and as you can see, the rear wheel should be able to move now. Okay, so adjusting the parking brake is, I feel, a personal preference. I think most people say 7 clicks. I'm gonna do mine at 5. So when I adjust it, I'm gonna go 5 clicks, and then I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna adjust the parking brake until the rear wheel can't move, and then I'm gonna release it and make sure it moves again. Alright, so here we go, lifting the parking brake 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. 4, 5. Yeah, sure. Alright, so that's with 5 clicks, and you can see that my rear wheel still moves. So I'm going to tighten the adjusting screw, which is done with a 4mm Allen head from the inside. And we'll take a look at that, how you can find that, and adjust this thing. So we don't want this moving where I adjusted that parking brake. It's basically the plan. Okay, so right now we're underneath the car, and what you'll see are these 2 screws. You want to adjust the parking brake, you need to unlock this screw on the right here. You'll know it's always on the side of this, so that can be a landmark. So the one on the right, on the right rear wheel, sometimes it's a little tight, and that takes a 14mm to wrench to open. So what I usually do is I strap a 14mm, I get a hammer and rod it through here and pound it until it opens. Alright, so once that's loose, you can just literally pry that off. Your finger, and it'll expose a hole there. Make sure you don't lose the washer on the end of the nut there. Keep everything nice. So what you're going to do is stick a 4mm Allen wrench inside that hole and adjust the parking brake. Alright, so turning it clockwise gets the piston to tighten up or go outward so that the wheel is tightened up. You'll see now, I tightened it, I can't even move the wheel. I can't even move the wheel there. You can literally hang on to that thing. So now the parking brake is adjusted to that spot. So now that it's tight on there, make sure it's tight. What you're going to want to do is go release the parking brake on the inside and make sure that it releases the wheel and doesn't lock. And so we're going to release it. And this wheel over here should be free to spin again. If not, then we have done it wrong. But as you can see, it is spinning. So that one's good. We'll put it back up to 5 clicks do the other side, and we're done. Alright, so make sure you got this back in there. Bring it back, make sure the washer's on. You don't want dust or road debris getting inside there. That's what this is for. It's just the cap. Make sure it's hand tight first. Use the wrench. You can actually get underneath here and use the wrench if you'd like. Get it from the top. A little more range. Once it's tight, then you'll want to hammer it the other way just to make sure it stays on. So right there, it's pretty tight. Got to go hard on it to get it to move. Yeah, that's tight. So just do a little bit of hammering, not heavy, just enough so it's torqued enough that it's not going to fall off when you hit a high bump or something. And I'll try to get that on video. We'll see if that happens. Going from the opposite side. It's hard to do without having the camera fall off, so like I said, I'll do my best. Here it goes. Alright, that should be good enough. That's done for this side. And as you can see, the wheel won't move because the parking brake is up. I'll do the other side, but it's exactly the same. So I won't get it on film. So after this, we'll skip to lowering the car, putting it back on the ground. Alright, so now that the parking brake's done, it's adjusted. What we gotta do now is get the car up the jack stands. So we're gonna jack one side, take the jack stand out, lower the car, and same thing on the other side. And the car should work as it was intended to be working, or the parking brake should at least. So let's do that right now. Whenever you do this, do it slow and make sure nothing is breaking apart. Also make sure all your tools are not underneath the car anymore. Now we're going to lower this really slow. Time for the other side. Alright, so same principles apply as I did on the first side. Alright. So you can see here the car is just lifted enough that the stand is no longer on there. And I'm going to sweep it from under, take it out, over the car. Alright guys, see you next time. Drive hard.